All right, welcome to the 15th episode of Green Thumbs and Good Vibes, your podcast all about gardening and growing fruits and vegetables sustainably and the healthy lifestyle that comes along with it. Today, more of a lifestyle video. Mitchell and I taking on a challenge, the carnivore diet for a month. We did choose the shortest month, February, so that's part of the strategy in that as well. But anyway, let's get right into it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So, Mitchell and I have made this video specifically on this day because it is just 3 days before the 1st of February, when we start the carnivore diet. So we want to talk about kind of our feelings of how we think it's going to go, a little bit of the details of what we're tracking and what we're hoping to get out of this. And we've ordered some large meat, like variety packs, basically. And we want to talk about all the different cuts we got and kind of our plan for that as well. So start us off, Mitchell. What do we want to start with?
Yeah, I love that our intro says fruits and vegetables, and today we're talking about carnivore diet. It's
That's right.
on point. But
Yeah,
yeah,
we're
I
well
think we should
rounded.
just, yeah, I think we should talk about like why we're doing this exactly.
Sure.
So like we've seen a lot of people, like Jordan Peterson, just for example, people who have been doing this carnivore diet, and it improves, like immune issues or maybe some like underlying diseases people have, and we're not necessarily trying to, cure anything like that, but it's just very interesting. You can, basically only eat meat and it'll benefit your health. It goes against almost everything we've been told from, the big nutrition companies.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really just kind of an interesting thing to give a try. It's also really good for combating inflammation. So there might be some
Mm-hmm.
inflammation that we don't know about. Our shoulders are sore or something like that. We might notice that clearing up. So some of these things just could be, and we're going to keep you updated along the way. A couple more of these throughout the month of February. So um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much why we're doing it. We're just trying to see what is the effects. So we know that doing this, taking out those carbs out of the diet, it's going to switch our bodies over to running on ketones. That's something that, Mitchell and I have both seen from people close to us, but we've never done it before ourselves. So we're interested to see how that makes us feel, kind of what the body changes in that as well. We're also going to be tracking our weight and our weight lifting as well. So we both train
Mm-hmm.
regularly at the gym throughout the week. We want to see, okay, do we get stronger? Do we get weaker? Is there some lethargy? That's something that people talk about with the diet. So we're going to just check in with you guys throughout this to kind of track all those things.
Yeah, I can't imagine going on a run without any carbs. It just kind of
I
sounds
know.
awful.
Yeah.
But once you get into it, I think it'll be okay.
Right. Yeah. There's definitely going to be some hard ones when it comes to the lifting and stuff,
Hmm. And
cardio
so we're
training.
we're both about 165 pounds. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah. So a lot of people will do a carnivore diet to lose weight, basically, and a good reason it's good for that is because meat is so satiating. Like you can't eat so much meat in one sitting, but you can eat, like a bunch of Twinkies or chips in one sitting. It's a lot more
Right.
palatable. So people just kind of tend to eat a little bit less on carnivore. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how our weight goes. We're not trying to lose weight by any means, but that's just kind of a byproduct
Yeah.
of the diet to an extent. But we're going to try to eat enough to at least maintain or maybe gain some muscle, if
Yeah. That's the
possible.
hope, is to convert, this diet is known for just really, I don't know, just like I don't know what you would call it, but like really taking the fat off people, and we're hoping
Hmm.
to convert that fat into muscle. But
Hmm.
that's one of the great things about it, is it'll lean you out a little bit. So let's talk about our orders. We were originally going to order from the same place, but as we are in different locations geographically, we found that it was better to order from two different places. So, that's great for you guys. You get two different experiences, but we tried to be able to make them as comparable as possible. So, very similar price ranges, very similar cuts of meat, amount of meat, things like that. So we could still discuss and kind of strategize on, hey, maybe we want to cook this one this way, or compare the ways we cook them, things like that. So giving you guys some good information on that, hopefully. So let's pull up our orders, huh? See
Yep.
kind of what we
Yeah,
got.
we're gonna be really good at cooking beef after this month.
Yeah, a little
Cooking
bit
some
of like
steaks, some
future
breakfast.
dad training, right? Like
Yeah.
being able to cook every single cut of meat, you know?
hmm
Be like, "Oh yeah, you got this kind of cut. Here's how I recommend it," We'll
Yeah, and that's going to make
know what
it
to
more
do.
exciting throughout the month. Is the different types of options that we have, to cook from. It's going to
Right.
make it, even though a lot of it's beef, it's still going to be fun.
All right. One thing that I think mine has that yours maybe doesn't is I get a package of bones
Hmm.
for making your own bone broth for soups.
Oh, cool.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
no, I
cool?
don't think I got that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you could still do it because I'm sure some, like, if you get like T-bones or just anything with a bone in it. I don't know if there's
Mm-hmm.
like ribs, like the rib
I've,
bones afterwards. You save
yeah,
those. You can
I've
make a
got some
broth out of those.
short ribs with bone
Yeah.
in my order.
All
So
right.
yeah, so my order here was just like in general. I got from, I guess people say, where White Oaks pasture. So we're both doing grass fed beef, so pretty much the healthiest beef you can get on the market, and no GMOs or hormones or anything like that used. And that's a big part of doing this too. Is we want to try to do the carnivore, but do it pretty much as healthily as we can. So I got a eighth of a cow, and on White Oaks pasture that is 30 pounds, and that comes with, the majority is 15 pounds of ground beef, and then the other 15 pounds is made up of different types of cuts of beef. So you've got two ribeye steaks, two New York strips, two filet mignons, one sirloin, London broil, two stew beefs, a chuck roast, shoulder roast, and short ribs. So lots of things to go off
Wow.
of.
That's
How
awesome.
about your side?
Yeah, so like we said, I was originally going to go with White Oaks pastures as well, but because I am out on the West Coast, that is a little bit different. So they offer free shipping over a certain amount of money, and obviously when you're ordering 30 plus pounds of beef, you usually exceed that amount. But that is for, like, it seems like ground delivery. Like if they can, put it on a truck, drive it to you, that's great. But since I'm all the way across the country, that's not how it works. So the shipping was quite expensive on that, which is what made me go to a second option. And this is where I got it. Let's go ahead and say it. It is highnoonbeef.com is where I ordered mine from. So high noon, like the drink, beef.com. And so mine isn't called an eighth of a cow. Mine is the 35-pound beef stock up, and it is around the same price point as Mitchell's. And mine comes with two bone-in ribeyes, two New York strips, a cross rib roast, a brisket, like I said, that package of bones, two packages of short ribs, one top London round, and like you, 15 pounds of premium ground beef. So that is, yeah, a lot of similar cuts there. So that'll be fun to test those out. Which cut are
Mm-hmm.
you most excited to learn about cooking or cook really well?
That's a good question. I'm a huge New York strip person, but I already kind of like know how to cook it, and I've had a lot. I think uh, filet mignon sounds really cool to try to cook
Oh
it.
yeah,
It's such
you have a
a
fillet in there. That's awesome. Mine doesn't. I don't think mine
mhm.
has a fillet.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, I've got two.
That's awesome.
That'd be cool.
I am
I've
really
only.
excited for the ribs. Like doing a nice rack of
Mhm.
ribs to eat on for a couple days. That'll be great.
So, are you gonna cook this stuff on a grill outside or inside most of the time? Probably. It is winter, so.
Yeah, sometimes like with the brisket, I know I want to smoke that. So I think that for sure
Mm.
is going to be one that'll be done outside. Um yeah, I mean I have a bunch of, like, I have two packages of the short ribs, and then I think I have another, the rib roast. So with that, like, I'll probably do at least one rack of ribs on the smoker as well. But some of them I'm going to do in the oven too.
Mhm.
do a little
oven.
seasoning, wrap them up, in like a tin foil with some
Mm-hmm.
good stuff on there. Yeah, so that's cool. All right, let's talk about what we're going to add to our diets on top of the meat, because there are a couple other things that we're adding to this
Mm-hmm.
that is often talked about with the carnivore diet. So we're both going to drink black coffee, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
one thing we're adding. All
We're,
right.
we're letting we're letting that in. We don't want to give up our coffee.
That's right. That's right.
Skip it.
We're doing eggs, cheese, kind of
Mm-hmm.
limited dairy products, so like heavy whipping cream we're allowing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Like yeah, and the coffee,
I think is that it? I think that's
salt.
it.
It's going to be important.
Salt,
And
yes, of
and
course.
I think some seasonings are okay, like pepper too, even though
Mm-hmm.
that's like a plan. Just miscellaneous seasonings. I probably won't try to use too much like soy sauce and stuff though.
Right.
Like when it more liquidy type plant stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely try to go like more dry stuff. And then we are going to take a supplement, which is athletic greens. We will be taking that every day. So that one's only 30
Mm-hmm.
calories. So the effect on the whole process is probably going to be pretty minimal. But it will
Yeah.
allow us to get, I would say, just like a little bit more balance in the diet. Even though we are going with like the highest quality meat we can try to find, that is still an important factor in there. Is just to supplement when needed. That can be important.
Mm-hmm. And we've both been taking athletic greens for, months and months now. So
Oh yeah,
even maybe over a year. So our bodies are very used to it. I think it'll
right.
kind of just help digestion a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what else do we want to talk about here?
Do you know how you want to structure your meals throughout the day? Do you have like a plan for that at all?
Yeah. I think so. I have kind of two options that I'm playing with, right? So I am more used to not like skipping a breakfast and then doing a large lunch and dinner. But I do feel like the food types that we're adding in, like the eggs and stuff, that is kind of lending itself more to a breakfast. So I'm gonna try to do probably a lunch and a dinner. But if that waiting is just too long, then I'll try to do a breakfast and a dinner. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, we should
But
talk about this. Why are we going back to two meals instead of the usual three?
yeah, I feel like it's a combination of if you eat the breakfast and it's just all proteins and fats like meat, you're going to be full for a couple hours at least. That might hold you off long enough to get to dinner. Because sometimes, like, I'm kind of trying to prepare a little bit for this diet to get my like digestion used to it, and I'm already eating, like eggs and bacon in the morning pretty consistently, and I'll be full for almost till dinner.
Yeah,
So, if you can, I don't think it really matters too much. Just so you're getting enough food throughout the day to not, start just losing weight. That's what
right.
I want to try to avoid. Lose
Right.
too much
And
weight.
with that, our maintenance calories we're kind of guesstimating here because we've never really done a maintenance. We've been trying to gain weight recently, so it's always been a surplus, but we're guessing that our maintenance calories are around 2500 calories a day. So what does that mean? That means with two meals, we are doing 1000 plus calorie meals twice a day. So if you think
Yeah.
about it that way, it's not as crazy. And remember, that's like all protein pretty much and fat. So um,
Hmm.
that's gonna keep you full for a while. So yeah, that's kind of the structure. So you're going with breakfast and dinner. Am I right about that?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just easier to kind of eat before work and then work, throughout the day. Not don't worry about food at all, and then eat afterwards. So
Right.
easiest.
Sounds good.
And then I might have like we talked about making beef jerky possibly with some of the stuff we're getting. I don't know what cut of meat would be well for that. We'll have to look into that. But just sort of a little snack through lunch if we want.
Yeah, yeah, something you could munch on throughout the day. That'd be great. And there's
Hmm.
always pork rinds, which are 100% pork, right?
That's
I guess
true.
you could,
Yeah.
if we're feeling something crispy, we could always go to the pork rinds. Now, that would
Hmm.
probably step us off the path of doing it the healthiest way, but
Yeah.
you never know. You never know.
maybe we'll really be craving the snacks,
That's right.
the
That's right.
meat snacks. I'm also gonna incorporate, like, besides, we talked about the eggs and cheese and obviously the websites for ordering the grass-fed beef off of, but as well, I'll probably incorporate some like salmon every now and then, just from the store, but preferably like wild caught salmon, so it's still pretty healthy, and maybe like I don't know, chicken, turkey.
Hmm.
It I don't remember the name of this, but sometimes if people just eat too much of the same meat too much consistently, they'll just get totally sick of it. So
Right.
it's probably going to be good for us to mix up the meat just every now and then, so it stays
Yeah, and
kind of
like the
exciting.
fish oil and stuff. That would be probably a good addition to what we're
Hmm.
eating.
I
Yeah,
love
definitely.
salmon.
That's a good
Oof.
idea. And if we're eating out, like you might have to, like you're gonna have an annoying order if it's, but you might be able to get like, hey, just some, roasted chicken or something like that. That might be a good option.
Hmm. Yeah.
So there you
If
go.
any friends want to go out with me in February, we got to go to a steakhouse.
There you
It's got
go.
to be a
Yep,
must.
it's got to be a steakhouse. Yeah, yeah, that'll be fun. All right, do we have anything else on the docket there? I think we've mentioned what we're
Um,
tracking, where we ordered it, what
yeah,
we're.
just I'd say if we have any predictions for how the month's gonna go.
That's right.
Anything? What do you think?
Well, I do think I'm probably going to lose a little bit of weight. I think that's probably going to happen.
Hmm.
Because even though, like you said, and I've been preparing for this too, like having large amounts of meat at each meal, large servings. It's not the only thing at every meal, but and then I've like played around with. I have had like one meal as part of the day, full carnivore style. So like here's two burger patties, two eggs, cheese on top, something like that, right? And
Hmm.
by the way, that's a delicious one. I recommend that for like a lunch or something, or a dinner in your case, or maybe even a breakfast with the eggs. Who knows? But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So I kind of get the amount there is just it's going to be cut down. I feel like without the sides, even though I'm going to be eating more meat. So I
Hmm.
think that'll happen. I do think that there's probably going to be a dip at some point in like the day to day amount of energy. But then I think by the end of this, I will probably have more daily energy than before. Like when we're in full ketosis, our bodies are used to it. Week maybe like 3 and 4, I think we're going to be probably liking this a lot. That's my prediction.
Hmm. That's what I'm excited for. Yeah. Once our bodies are pretty fully accustomed to it towards the end there,
Yeah,
and they say as well, like if you go 60 days, 90 days, even more benefits start to crop up. But we're just doing it for the shortest month of the year
that's
and
right. Doing it for
seeing how it
30.
goes.
Hey, but who knows? Like we might be doing the final podcast at the end of February, beginning of March, and we're like, we've decided for 90 days now we will be going carnivore. Like we've
Yeah.
ordered more meat, we've ordered a fourth of a cow this time.
If we feel that good, yeah, it's
Yeah,
possible.
it may be. We could
It's
be
just
loving it.
it's tough for a gardening channel. Like
That's right.
what are we gonna do? I'd love to grow plants. I can't stop.
We're giving them to our neighbors all the time.
Yeah.
We're donating
So
strictly growing for the community and for the fun.
do lab grown meat at home maybe. Start that instead.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well,
But yeah, I think I
what
agree.
about what about your predictions? What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I think losing weight's pretty possible. I mean, yeah, we both have to eat like 3,000 calories a day almost
Right.
just to maintain and possibly grow, and that's tough with meat and stuff. So I don't want to bump up the dairy too much just because
Right.
of like lactose intolerance a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. I think, yeah, I'm excited to be in ketosis for the very first time because I've never done even like a low carb diet before. So it'd be very exciting to see the differences, like mentally, between just a normal diet versus such low carbs. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think also after the end of the month, we're going to be pretty good cooks for meat.
That's it.
I'm excited to
Oh,
see.
all
Even
right.
like
Let's end it on this. What's the one thing you're gonna miss most when going on the carnivore diet?
I'm gonna miss most.
Like, what's the thing that you won't be able to eat that you're like, man, that's gonna be a tough one?
Hmm, that's a good question. Maybe I I've eaten a peanut butter Cliff Bar every single morning for like 6 years. So I think I'm gonna miss that. Even though I've done it for so long, I just still love it.
Yeah.
So like yeah, just little granola bars that get me by, I
Hmm.
love and I'm gonna miss. Also candy, which I don't have much, but I do have a sweet tooth
It's
that comes
so
out every
good
once in a
though.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah. No sugar at all. What about you?
Oh man. Like my first instinct was to say bread. Like I love my bread, but I don't really have just straight bread that often. Sometimes I do, but I
Hmm.
think probably it'll be like, man, I love like, different little sides, like the little bean sprouts and like the little like I love Korean, so like
Hmm.
everything, and like the kimchi pancake, that's all carbs. And like the
Yeah.
kimchi is cabbage, can't have that. So yeah, just like all the different, and like sauce, I think that's actually my answer, is like I'm going to miss, doing a little bit of mustard or like a little bit of barbecue or something, and we
Hmm.
can't do it, so that's
Because we
gonna be
can't do
tough.
barbecue. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
so we're gonna
Oh,
have to get creative there with the
yeah.
flavoring.
I know there's nothing like going to a barbecue restaurant and the sides too, like you're saying,
Oh,
baked beans
mashed
and some
potatoes, are
french
you
fries.
kidding?
Yeah.
No mashed taters, come on,
uh,
we need them.
or have meat with a side of meat
Yeah,
every night.
that's
Just
right. Hey, would
that's
you like a
about
side of
it.
bacon with your steak and eggs?
Well, I guess
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that.
I'll supersize that, make it 3 slices of bacon.
Yeah, it's been nice eating bacon like close to every day. I will say
Yeah, I
it's been
love
pretty
bacon,
awesome.
man. It's awesome. All right. Well, there's our first update of how we're feeling on the carnivore diet. We're probably going to
Mhm.
do, I don't know, Mitchell, like, what do you think? Maybe two of these in the month of February and then one at the end as kind of our wrap up.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Either weekly or every other week.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
definitely one in the middle, one in the end, somewhere in there.
yeah, you'll get us kind of near the beginning where we're, maybe struggling to make it work, and
Yeah,
feeling the immediate change, and then you'll get us near the end where hopefully, like, we're in full ketosis, we've gotten used to it, we can start to feel some of the benefits, and then you'll get a wrap up as well. So look forward to those. We'll do some more of that and kind of see the irony continue of two gardeners doing a carnivore diet without any vegetables. So, hope you guys enjoyed. We will see you in the next podcast. Bye.
have a good one.